welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 with the first episode of our new build series. Yes! We are tackling this monster. This is going to be our target vehicle. The A-Class Ford Bronco R Welcome Pack. It's all-wheel drive. It's got Baja suspension, Baja tires. And it's going to need it because we are tackling a proper custom-created Baja circuit that I made. It took a long time to make this track, but it's going to take some unique specialties, the likes of which we have never seen before in a build series. None of our courses have ever been proper off-road like this. And that means we're going to have off-road tires to deal with the super soft, low-grip sand. We have a massive jump to deal with, along with several small ones. And sure, there's a fair bit of high-speed acceleration in certain parts, but it's very technical, especially in the second half, very precise. A lot of precision driving is necessary. And especially on the section that's going to be coming up now on this fastest run, it's going to need a lot of suspension track. You can see here, it's a straight line despite the curviness of the road, but look at that. The elevation changes, the bumps, and then it goes right into a fast braking zone, very tightening hairpin almost, before heading in to even more suspension testing. It is a punishing track because I wanted to test out the new off-road stat. Nowadays, in previous Forza games, I should emphasize, cars could just sort of go off-road as they please, even if it was a Lamborghini. But in this game, it has an off-road stat to try and, I guess, even the playing field a little bit, and I wanted to test that to its limits. Now, it's not all purely off-road. The second half is almost exclusively trails, very technical trails, I'll add. Those rocks help you keep on the track. It's not necessary, you can hit them, it won't cost you too much time, but it is best to avoid them whenever possible. And then we have this section here. I should emphasize, we're playing fast and loose with the track limits. I'm trying to keep to the path as best as I can. It's a Baja track, things will happen, so it's going to be very loose on those, but I'm going to try and keep it as consistent as possible on my end. Then we just have one more fast, flat-out acceleration zone before a jump over the shrubs onto a very tricky landing zone. As you can see, even on my fast zone, I got a little bit off. And then we have to cross the line to our build car. And this little thing is going to be our first build car, because if we're starting off with the monster Ford Bronco, why not start off with the tiny little Renault 4, yes. It's the lowest class you can possibly get in the game, so we're going to have to do an engine swap. It does actually have a body kit. There you go. That's cool. I think we're going to want to go with the Turbo Rally engine. Yes. We're also going to want all-wheel drive. Yes. And we're going to want... oh, great, we can have Forza Aero with the body kit. That's a very rare thing that you get in this game. And I say we're going to want to chuck as much weight out as possible. I'm not sure. I also want to test out the tire compounds, because there's a whole lot of them now. There are snow tires, rally tires, and our choice, proper off-road racing tires. And we're going to need them to be bigger than that. I'm pretty sure that's broken, because it doesn't actually get bigger. Well, that's not very good, so we're going to go for the cheap ones then. If they don't get... yeah, I think they're supposed to be 195s. Okay. We're already... I keep looking at the top. I don't see a PI system, if you will. We want rally springs, yes. We want race everything. We're actually not going to put the weight reduction in it because it hops. Yeah, it's already incredibly light. 1,400 pounds. We don't need that. It's got a little roof rack. That must have been from the spoiler. Is that from the spoiler? No, it's not. What's that from? Yes, we have the weight-reducing wheel. Okay. Cool. We're going to throw this on because I didn't add any PI. And now it's time for power. This engine's very difficult to build, if I recall. Yeah, it's being tricky. Let's take this off. Can we put you on? No, we're still too high on the PI scale. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do this. Perfect. So look at that. There we go. And then we're gonna want a gearbox, which I think we're gonna... A 7-speed is probably fine. That actually lowers the PI one. Okay. And then I guess maybe some weight reduction just to get into the top of the class. Okay. You see, now it's tricky because I don't really know how to build this. No, that's too high. If I do this, and then this, and then this. No, that's too high. That's way too high. I think we're just gonna have to settle with, 95, personally. So, let's do that. Then we can take off you. Can we save it anywhere else? No, we definitely want that. I think we're sort of stuck with, 95. It's a very... We can try the motorbike engine, I suppose. We could try that. That might get enough power. Well, we'll give it a shot. If nothing else, we'll go back to the... Okay, so it does not get enough power. Update. I mean, it would technically meet the requirements. My limits are always halfway through the class in order to be eligible to, you know, stand a chance. Well, let's just try that. Oh! I made it work! It's not very powerful. 377 horsepower, 417 torque though, but it weighs absolutely nothing. So, all we have to do is give it a good paint job, because I forgot that, and throw it up a rally stage. Okay, we are here at my custom race route. Another thing I love about Horizon 5 is that the race routes can have no AIs on it, so you basically get free time trial, which means you don't technically have to wait. I mean, if you could put the start line where you actually wanted it, you wouldn't have to wait. I'm still gonna wait, because it offers up a staging area, and it offers a good ideal start point, if you will. So, rev it up, 30 seconds, we're gonna launch it, see how the lightweight Renault does. As you can see, we are an ambulance. I hope we don't need an ambulance. We might at that rate. It's a lot more slidey than the Bronco. The Bronco had massive off-road racing tires. This does too, they're just not massive. Now, again, the foliage, I'm not expecting to be a problem, but, because you can't avoid it and it's not that big of a deal, but it is still a thing that can hamper speed if you hit it too many times, so we're going to try and keep that to a minimum. It's very slidey, very slidey. I'm in 5th gear, 6th gear, and it's just sort of not doing anything. And if we chuck it towards the checkpoint, perfect. I had some problems during testing of this route with I was using an Evo. I'm pretty sure the Evo was on the wrong tires. It wasn't on off-road race tires, which basically give you obscene levels of grip even on the sand. So it was having massive problems with that section, and you saw nothing, you saw nothing. Alright, now it's time to see how the bouncing is fair. Is it going to be too light? No, it's just going to glide over them. That was impressive. And the hairpin is, not bad, I should say. Not bad. Acceleration is very good, and brakes, you sort of saw at the beginning, really caught me out, because I'm used to that big, lumbering beast of a Bronco. And then we get to this tiny lightweight thing, and it can stop a lot faster. It should also be better through this section here, simply because it is smaller, but also, oi! It rolls. That's a thing that the Bronco didn't have to deal with. It's, yeah, and it's very top. Oh! Well, there we go! We got our first rollover, and it wasn't even on the landing of a jump, it was just on off of a mound, a curb. That's a problem I did not foresee, but it makes a lot of sense with the whole, you know, tire on the roof. Ugh. Just go this way. Yeah, this run is pretty much ruined. Considering I nearly rolled once, I did roll the other time. Just like that. Come on. Just sneak it through there. I mean, we can at least have a semi... Yeah, we at least had a good landing of the jump. Yes, we did, and we are across the line. This thing falls over. Okay. That being said, it's only 7 seconds slower. Okay. So it's 7 seconds slower with a rollover and a very sketchy first run. This looks promising. Maybe. Okay, my current objective is to simply make it around the course without falling over and setting a half-decent time. I was not anticipating that to be an issue. I think we might actually have this issue more often now, because thinking about it, the rally suspension makes everything incredibly soft and more likely to roll, and when combined with the extreme, shall we say, grip from the extreme off-road racing tires, I think it might happen more often. You actually saw there that whole reverse and then shove it into first and rev it up. That sort of gives you a little launch control thing. I'm not sure it really is really necessary. I'm braking way too early. I'm not sure it's really necessary on this vehicle, considering how grippy it is in terms of the acceleration, the ferocity of it, but for other vehicles it might be beneficial. It has too much wheel spin off the line. This thing, I'm not too afraid of it. Let's just shift it down into 6th, just about make that checkpoint, and then be brave! There we go. We carried a lot of speed, 106 miles an hour over the jump. That is good. And we brake late, because we can, because we weigh about 2 ounces. There we go. And again, cut the corner just enough to get the checkpoint like a sneaky bugger. Okay, now again, brake late. That is our secret weapon in this. Might have shifted down a little too much into gears front. Now I'm doing this strategically. Nope. Actually, that was actually better than last time, to be frank. The exit was not great. I missed it. This is gonna happen a lot, I would imagine, because of the bumping, like this one, the suspension going out wide. I fear that's gonna happen a lot on this build series. You're just gonna have to accept it, okay? It's the way of life. Now, don't roll over. We have to be really careful, okay? I think that's what we've decided. We have to be extremely careful around this particular section, because this section is the only one that actually has some genuine form of grip behind it. Everything else is on the proper off-road dirt, no trails. This doesn't even count as a trail in Forza's, I guess, game logic. I'm not even gonna bother rewinding that, because there's no points. Did it really not give me the bloody checkpoint? This run has gone horribly. I mean, it's gone horribly before it rolled over, and it's gone even worse now. I think that section I'm just gonna have to crawl around. That's the only option. Because, yeah, it's a trail, which means it has more grip than the proper dirt, and the off-road race tires, and combined with the off-road suspension, cannot handle it. Not one bit. So we actually set a very similar time. There you go. Okay, mission status is simply survive, I think, is the word I'm looking for. Because all we do is roll over. That's all we do in that very particular section. We roll over, we bounce around on the suspension. This is really not a very good car for yeah, you see what I mean by the grip. Okay. We are in launch control. We are in launch control, god damn it. Now we're not in launch control. There we go. That was close. I didn't want it to bog down on the launch, so I had to No, don't you roll. I see you leaning like you're not in Italy, you're not the Leaning Tower of Pisa, you're the Leaning Tower of Renault. It does not have the same ring to it. Probably this is a Peugeot, has some nice alliteration. There we go, that's a more standard line through there. And then, again, you want a little bit of slideways just to get the rear end turn into the corner. So like that, you see, god damn it. There we go. And then be brave. Even on the super soft, no grippy sand, you'd see the rear wheel cocking up a little bit. Like a little hot hatch. This is the hot hatch of Rallycross. Dakar, what I want to call it. Because, yeah. It just loves to cock the rear wheel. Only it goes a bit further and cocks the entire, you know, car over. Which is a bit too much, I'm going to be honest. Okay. We're almost to the sketchy bit. That's sort of terrifying. We're a little wide there, but honestly, I'm just trying to get a clean lap, which is apparently more difficult than it seems. That was a great line through there. The bumps lined us up perfectly. Okay. Now it's time for the tear. Now it's time for the fright. It's fine. I didn't even get to the front yet, and we already flipped. But we landed perfectly on track. Now, nice and slow. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. There we go. No. I see you cocking that rear wheel up. Oh, okay. I think we're through the worst of it in that situation. A little bit of sideways action again just to get that rear end turn. We have 2 more corners. Shift it down the gears to get in the right rev range. Come on. We actually have a half decent run. A little more over the shrubs. Shift it down into 6th, and then we are across the line. What was the time? Oh, it's only 2 seconds slower with a rollover. That's amazing. How is that possible? It's only 3.5, yeah, it's only 1.5 seconds, sorry, 1.5 seconds slower than the Bronco with the rollover. That's a stupid car. That's a terrifying car. I'll be honest though, I would not have that final run any other way. I could smooth up a little lines, but that rollover perfectly into the straight line corner for the left-hander, perfection. That was full-on Colin McRae at the X Games. Oh. I mean, it's a fun car. It's terrifying, and I never want to drive it again in this configuration. But it's fun. And right now it's 2nd place, so I think we're going to have to pick a more sensible car next time so it doesn't, fall over every single run. But in the meantime, that will be it for this episode of Forza Horizon 5, and I'll be back with more